Hey everybody, welcome to episode 140 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best or worst in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph, and this week's topic is best song from a band that we hate. Bob, Joseph, how are you guys doing today?
What's going on, everybody?
What's
good to be
up?
back.
What's up? I'm doing great.
How you doing?
Sunburn, but feeling good. You know, it's fucking hot. We live in South Texas, folks. It's supposed to be winter. It was 92 degrees today.
Did y'all check out that new Foo Fighters song? Just curious.
No. I know they have a new drummer.
How
There's
curious.
a whole thing on the internet about why the replacement drummer left. So, how does it sound?
Really?
How's the new song?
It sounded pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually a little heavy. You know, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's cool. It reminded me of what was that one that came out back in the days? I think it was like their first single, All My Life. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's cool. It's kind of got that
Futos.
vibe. So
Okay.
you
Be on
know,
the lookout. New
yeah,
Foo
go
Fighters.
check that out. New Foo Fighters, everybody. This is the place, your source for breaking news music.
I saw, speaking of Foo Fighters, going to tie into that, Joseph sent me a thing. I also saw it on YouTube. So now they're investigating Kurt Cobain's death again, apparently.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Little current
They're
events.
saying- yeah.
It's
Ladies and gentlemen.
insane. One of the things I
I've
don't
always
think-
thought that, though. That's the thing.
I know. And the thing is-
Joseph always thought that, and he still chose a song that Kurt Cobain wrote about Courtney Love as his best Nirvana song. So everybody shit on Joseph for a second.
I say a lot of things on this show that I regret, but I think the one I regretted the most was talking a lot about Courtney Love during that Nirvana episode. But now it's all coming full circle. We might have been onto something, when we recorded that episode 3 or 4 years ago. So
You can't say coming and Courtney Love in the same sentence, Randall. It's unbecoming of you.
So today, guys, we're doing something very mature. We're admitting that sometimes the band we can't stand accidentally cooked. This is an emotional accountability, right? This is hate with nuance. We're not saying that these bands are good, but we're saying that they had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity. So we're talking about best songs from a band that we hate. Some important points to cover, guys, and please add your points to this. The difference between hate and annoyance. Some bands aren't bad, they're just culturally exhausting. Now, the bands that you guys looked at, the songs that you listened to, was it out of pure hate, or did you find these bands more annoying, more like, I didn't really care for them?
No, I think it's more, for me, it's more like I didn't really care for them, especially if it's a band that's extremely popular, especially with my pick. I'm sure Randall's he's got a long hate speech coming towards me today. But yeah, I think it's more like, they don't really do it for me, or I'm into a different genre of music or a style of music. So I think that's more my lane. There's no really hate anywhere,
You're into what you're into, right? I think hate is a strong word. So that's a terrible word. But since we're talking about music, yeah, let's just focus. Like, this is strictly like music wise. Like, I hate these bands that we're going to talk about. Well, I don't hate not all of them that we're going to talk about, but it's just not you. It's like Bob said, you like what you want to listen to, and that's cool. Everybody's got that. Everybody, listen to what you want to listen to. I mean, there's plenty of music that I listen to.
Except Pearl Jam.
Oh, gosh.
That people would say that they hate. So it's not them personally, unless they're fucking
It's not
assholes.
you, it's me.
But yeah.
I think some of the other things I wrote down on some important points that we're going to cover in this episode is the fan base factor, right? Sometimes we hate the fans more than the music because they oversaturate these bands that become very popular.
That's true.
And
It's big time true.
We're listening to them all the time because of their fan base, essentially. Joseph, you had something to add to that?
A fan base can be annoying if the fan base isn't, if you kind of just you're not into the song, or you're not into the music, or you're not into the musician, whatever, and then
That's okay.
It's okay, yeah, right, that's okay.
But if you're a
it's when
Taylor
they're-
Swift fan,
yeah,
it's too
and their
much.
fan base is coming after you.
Don't go after them,
or
Bob.
like-
We don't want that smoke. Okay.
I mean, or if the fan base is like just
Look
like
at how good
annoying
Travis Kelce's doing.
I mean, it's that can definitely add to hating a band or a musician or something like that.
What
because their
about you?
fans are crazy.
What about you, Bob? Is there a band that whose fan base you absolutely cannot stand?
No, nothing like
No?
that. I've never
Okay.
felt that way about a band. That's really cool. Fuck, I'd wish if I was a musician and have a crazy, fan base like that. That is, you could do no wrong. That's probably an amazing feeling. So I don't think fans are a negative to any fan base, regardless of like what funny memes and bullshit that we see on Instagram and online and social media and stuff like that. But fan bases are what make these bands great. I think the bands themselves is just a lot of times they're just not our cup of tea. We have been force fed a lot of music and a lot of songs, especially back in the day when MTV actually played music videos on the radio. We'd listen to it, local radio stations, they would, regurgitate and force feed us the same songs over and over and over again, or same music videos over and over and over again. So we could get tired of a song or tired of a band because, we're being force fed this kind of music. But fans definitely, to me at least, they don't have any effect on like how I feel about a band.
One of my honorable mentions has a very annoying fan base. So when I mention them coming up, I'll let you know who
We
it
can talk
was.
about that. One of the other points I brought up here is the wrong era problem. A band might have hit you at the wrong time in life. Were there any bands where you thought initially, well, the song was terrible, but as you grew at a different stage of your life, hey, the song wasn't so bad, or you
No,
actually enjoy it?
it was the opposite for me. I loved Green Day, and now as I got older, I'm like, yeah, they were fucking terrible as they grew.
No, I still like early Green Day.
Yes,
first
yes,
first
of
three
course.
albums, all the way pretty much till Warning, I guess.
But
After
wake me
that,
up till September ends.
Yeah.
It doesn't, even though I'm 40, it doesn't do it for me now. Like it didn't do it for me when I was
Yeah.
30 or 20.
And
So.
I haven't been really into it. And anytime I do listen to Green Day, it's old Green Day. No, I can't really think of anything right about like that would the era would affect. But do you? Was there something maybe?
No,
I think this would be more for you because you fucking hate new metal. Like it was.
it's funny.
act
He
like an
also
old
does
man
love
when it comes to
Arcade
new
Fire,
metal.
so let's.
both guilty on both charges, by the way. It's funny that you mentioned that, Joseph, because I actually do have a new metal band as my honorable
Sure you
mention,
do.
and we could examine that a little bit when I get there. But we're
Cool.
asking ourselves, nostalgia softens the edges, right? And you brought up the point, Joseph. I didn't like new metal. You guys didn't like something, but as you grow older, you might grow to appreciate it. I remember people saying who were like hardcore Led Zeppelin fans also said, well, I didn't like Casey and the Sunshine Band when I was in high school, but they brought me back to a certain point. And I think a lot of these bands, we might have not liked them at a certain point, but as we grew older, we learned to appreciate their talents, their songs, and the memories they brought back to us.
Yeah, I think I'm opposite too because if people have been listening along since we started, kind of an old soul when it comes to music. I listen to a lot of 60s and 70s rock, so I think I'm the opposite. I kind of grew up too early, or I had kind of like an older person's mentality, so I kind of got like the songs that I liked when I was younger. I just appreciate them even more and more as I've grown, or as I become a dad, or as I that kind of shit. But I think I've already appreciated them, and they just hit me a little bit harder now.
This is the Fast and Furious 5 of the discography of these bands that we hate, right? The one good movie that we enjoyed from these artists. So opening questions, guys. What makes you hate a band?
Look, I love music. We've said this nonstop, and I can't believe it that I have to say it again. You all probably are sick of, I'm tired of me saying that I love music. But if it's not it's not so, maybe it's the overexposure factor. If it's something that I don't like, hey, it's just not for me, but I'm constantly fucking hearing it, that can lead to me like, it's like, look, I know Mariah Carey can sing, and I don't hate Mariah Carey, but I cannot fucking stand her Christmas song. And this is, so
All I Want
it
for
has
Christmas.
been overplayed. It's to the point where, like I've said before, I walk out of a room if it comes on the radio. I just can't fucking stand it.
It'd be cooler if you did a cartwheel.
Yes.
I know this is different because I'm mentioning a song, and like I said, I don't. Mariah Carey can sing. She definitely can sing, and she has good songs that or that you can vibe to. But I
Not
just
really.
can't stand this Christmas song. So yeah, I think for me, what can make me hate a band is if I'm just simply not into it and it's just overplayed nonstop, then it can become like you know what, I can't fucking stand this shit. You need in a
a lot of
situation like
anger.
that, just walk out of the
Oh,
room.
jeez. You should see the fists he's throwing in the air, folks.
2 curse words in one sentence. That's tremendous spite. What about you, Bob? What makes you hate a band?
I don't know. I don't really hate any bands, man. I don't. I choose to stay in my own lane and listen to my own style or my own type of music. I do like a variety of music from a lot of different genres. So I don't really hate any band. I don't like people telling me you should love this band and disagreeing. I'm like, oh, I don't like the band. And then them getting pissed off because I don't like that type of music. Well, you don't have to like every type of music. So there's not really a band I could say that I hate. I don't know where hate comes from music. That's not supposed to, I guess, I don't know, fill you with that kind of emotion, but I guess it can.
Sometimes I think it's overexposure. If I can hear you in a grocery store, a car commercial, and my dentist's office in the same week,
So
that's
you
not
listening to
artistry.
Creed?
That's not artistry, right? That's saturation warfare. Also think that sometimes it's the fan base, as we spoke about earlier. If your fans introduce themselves by defending you, I think that's a red flag. I think sometimes it's corniness, and it's not charming corniness. I'm talking about the inspirational quote on a truck window corniness. I also think sometimes it's genre snobbery. I'll admit it. If you're aggressively safe, my ears will file for a divorce. I want a band that experiments and comes out with good stuff as they evolve. And sometimes one bad era poisons the well. You give me one experiential album where nobody said no, and now I'm suspicious forever. So hate isn't really about volume, it's about trust being broken. Next question.
Jesus Christ, who hurt you?
Can you separate one song from the artist?
I can't. I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, we could just take into account a one-hit wonder. There's plenty of one-hit wonders out there that you're just like, I'm in love with this song. This song was fucking great in the '90s or in the '80s or whenever it came out. But and these bands have put out 3 or 4 albums, but they've never really hit or never really spoken to you. So I can definitely separate, the band from the single. So that's never been a problem for me.
That's kind of what we're doing here today.
Yeah,
most
yeah.
definitely. So yeah, because and the reason I ask and thank you, Bob, for your answer and for clarifying, because I thought
Hey,
we
you're
were talking
welcome,
more.
bro. You're welcome, bro.
I thought we were talking more of a situation where because I think you mentioned it earlier, and I thought this is what you were talking about. If somebody
You dig it.
somebody else records a song or that you from a band that you can't stand or something like that, but you kind of like that other person or band's version, so that's what I kind of thought you meant
Okay.
by that question. And my answer to that would have been like, yeah, that I can. Somebody can take a song that I hate from a band, a song that I don't like from a band that I'm very much not a fan of, record their own version, put it out there, and if I like it, I like it. I mean, that's just the way it is. I can't remember his name right now, but there's a musician that I listen to. He recorded a cover of Justin Bieber's Ghost song, and I thought it was his song, and so when I found out it was a Bieber song, I was like, well, shit, no wonder I never heard it.
No, that explains your haircut, bro. That explains the haircut.
But like, it's a good, the way this, and I can't remember his name, and that sucks that I can't remember his name. It's in my playlist on my phone, but something like that. Like, this other musician covered a song from somebody I don't listen to or somebody I like, and I appreciated it, and I appreciated the song, and I was like, damn, these are some great lyrics and whatnot. Oh fuck, that's a Bieber song. Okay, I got to give a little thumbs up to Bieber for if he wrote this song. I don't know, because his pop musicians don't always write their own music, so I thought it was something like that. But yeah, what Bob said and
His
kinda what I
tattoos
said.
tell the story, sir.
I mean, you have to ask yourself, is it possible to compartmentalize, or does the logo ruin the vibe? I want to say yes, I want to be evolved, but sometimes the logo walks in before the song does. It's like watching a Tom Cruise movie, right? You're evaluating this 60-year-old man who's sprinting like he's in the Olympics before the performance. But here's the thing. When the song is undeniable, it overrides the branding. It's like when Nickelback released This Is How You Remind Me, and you're in the car like, why am I yelling this chorus? This is actually good. You can't
Because you're in
fully-
your 50s, bro. I'm just kidding.
you can't fully separate the artist, but sometimes the song goes full Jason Bourne and escapes the franchise. So I think it is okay to have a playlist of songs from artists you don't like, but there is a song that spoke to you or the chorus was catchy. I think absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Last opening question. Is it more impressive for a band you love to make a bad song or a band that you hate to make a great one?
Oh, man. I mean, like, every band has bad songs, even the great ones, I'd say. So I think it's more impressive for a shitty band that you don't like to play a song. You're like, you know what? That shit ain't that too half bad. I think that's more impressive in my book.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's just kind of like what it goes back to what our last topic was on our previous episode. We selected
Except for Rocky Raccoon. Fuck that song. The Beatles, y'all fucked up.
we selected, I selected a it's an interesting question. Is it impressive for a band? Like, cause I love, like I said, that last episode, I love
Yeah.
the Deftones, but I hated that song that they selected. So yeah.
You also don't like Cold's cover of "Run" by Snow Patrol, right?
Yeah, I didn't really like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What
I
about
like
Coldplay?
What have they covered?
Everything, Joseph.
our ears.
They covered my walls.
No, I like Coldplay.
I think a band you hate making a great song, I think that's absolute cinema. That's like Rocky IV punching communism in the face, right? That's plot twist energy. When a band I love makes a bad song, that's just a slump. And we covered this last episode. You shake your head, you tweet through it, you move on, you still love the band.
Tweet.
But when a band I've been side-eyeing for 20 years suddenly drops something undeniable, that's emotional whiplash. Now I have to grow. Now I have to admit that I was probably wrong about this band. That's not just a character development for the band, that's character development for me. And I didn't sign up for that kind of therapy. So when I was listening to a lot of these songs from bands I didn't like, I was like, "Oh my God, did I sleep on this song?" And you get to grow up and appreciate that the band was talented that you hated as a teenager or in college or whatever. I think that's grown up.
We hated a lot of things when we were teenagers. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Let's go on to honorable mentions. Bob, what do you got for us?
I only got two. Okay, I've got two. I've said it again and I've said it before. I'm not a fucking fan of Pearl Jam. I've never been a fan of Pearl Jam. Randall, look at him. He threw up his papers in the air. I'm not a fan of Pearl Jam, but they did have one song that I really think it's a really great song, and it's probably not the one you're thinking of. No, it's not Black. No, it's
Black
not
is
Yellow
a great
Lead.
song. All right.
It's Last Kiss, and I think that song is very emotional.
Really?
It's kind of a fucked up song, and
Cover.
I think that it hits on a different level for me, and it's mostly because of the lyrics and the subject matter. So I think that's a song that I'm like, man, I could listen to that song. And I know, yeah, everybody's like, oh, it's got to be Yellow Lead, or it's got to be Black, or it's got to be Jeremy. And no, those songs didn't really do it for me. Not that they're terrible songs, they just never really did it for me. If it comes on the radio, I'm not going to sit and be like, you know what, I needed this song today. But Last Kiss, probably listen through it. Secondly, and very lastly, this will come out of left field for y'all, Beyonce. I'm not a big fan of Beyonce. Shit, she's from Texas. She's down
Bob's
the road.
attacking
Houston.
both fan bases. We don't want anything.
No
else.
Yeah,
shit.
no
They're like,
shit.
fuck these motherfuckers. No, I love Beyonce. I'm just not a fan of her
Yeah,
music. I mean,
not a
Jesus
fan.
Christ.
Exactly.
Fucking 40-year-old damn Mexican dude from South Texas. I don't think that me and Beyonce, like, her music is really gonna captivate me or anything. But she did do a song that was extremely fun, and it was extremely popular, and it was everywhere, and it was on SNL. It was Single Ladies, and I thought that fucking song was really, really fun and funny, and like extremely catchy and extremely like radio friendly and everything. Like, it was everywhere,
was.
and I definitely didn't mind it. Like, it was a good song. It's a fun song. So I'm definitely open minded when it comes to bands like that. Again, nothing taken away from anything from Beyonce. She's a superstar in certain people's eyes. It's just not my style of music. I think if I was, a different age or I grew up listening to her style of music. I was listening to 60s and 70s rock and blues back in the day, so it doesn't really hit me the same way. But I thought that song was extremely catchy. And then so that one and Pearl Jam, especially y'all know me and Pearl Jam. No, we don't really mix. That's really all I got for those.
Bob, it makes sense that you pick Last Kiss for Pearl Jam because a lot of hardcore Pearl Jam fans, that's the song that they hate the most is Last Kiss.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the fact that you like it the most out of their entire catalog
yes.
oddly makes sense. I don't know how, but it makes
does.
sense.
It does because I'm like, I drift towards a certain style or sound of music, and a lot of Pearl Jam fans don't go that same route. Maybe they need to take the earplugs out, but I don't know. But yeah, definitely I can see that.
What do you got for us, Joseph?
All right, I got a few. I got Cold Damn Vampires by Zach Bryan. I also got Junkyard by Zach Brown Band. Those two, I guess you can see the
Is the
pattern
next
in
one
that.
Zach Attack?
Friends forever.
This is the band I was talking about with the fan base. It's just a little over the top right now. I'm not gonna lie. This song called "The Summoning" by Sleep Token. I don't like Sleep Token. I just never got into them. It's a weird mix of like metal and R&B and pop, and like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Who the fuck is that?
Exactly right. But they so I know this one song, and this fan base of theirs is like they're insane. Like you know, if you scroll through Instagram and there's a clip of a new song, or if they're in the news because of something, and some people
I'm almost afraid to type that in Google.
You can say like, oh, you know what, it wasn't my thing, and then their fans will like, oh, then you obviously don't know what music is. Like they're that type of fan
Snobs,
base. Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're
Not like
just
that.
insane.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of
It's
people
just
like
it's
that.
not, they're most of their music is not for me, but this song I actually liked. So I mean, good on them. Angry Again by Megadeth. Not a Megadeth fan at all, but I do think Angry
What
Again.
about Trist? I can't do his voice.
Hello, me. It's me again.
That's probably
The
Randy's
real
best
me.
fucking impression so far.
Right? He can only do Dave Mustaine. The Leaving Song Part 2 by AFI. This is obviously a great one. We all know The Ghost of You by My Chemical Romance.
Love that.
That's
song.
a good song.
That is a good song. Yes,
good song. That's another
Great
fan
fucking
base.
song
but
and
Don't come
great
after.
fucking music video. I'll give
no,
it-
exactly,
give it that.
exactly. They're not my cup of tea, like Bob says. Or like we're all saying, it. My Chemical Romance is not for me, but that song is awesome, and that visual is awesome. Clearly, I don't know. Maybe the guy. I'm sure the guy had some vision, and that's what where the video went. Anyway, lastly,
Good fucking pick, Joe. So that's a very good pick.
Like I said, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my band, but that is a great fucking song.
I remember that year. I mean, that around that time, that song came out, and so
I
long,
had to
Good Night.
admit that I liked it.
Yeah, like that band. I was like, these are like I don't.
I hate
listen to
Helena.
this. Yeah.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it wasn't really my cup of tea, but that fucking song "Goes to You" was a
Exactly.
fucking song I downloaded, I paid for, and I listened to. Still fucking listen to. It's a badass song. Yeah.
Exactly. Lastly, I had Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
stand
Motley
Motley
Crue's a
Crue, but-
great band, Joseph.
Can't stand them, but I can definitely
He can't-
I
he
can
can't- okay,
definitely
let's-
jam Kickstart
let's-
My Heart when it comes on in the car.
Let's put this in a different thing. He can't stand Vince Neil. He likes Motley Crue. He likes
No, I can't stand Nikki Sixx.
Who wrote
yeah,
that
but
song
Nick-
after he was overdosing? He wrote Kickstart. They brought him back from the dead in the
The only
ambulance.
person I like is Tommy Lee. Hell of a drummer.
you like all his videos.
All of them. So we'll go on
Music
with my
videos, folks. Jesus Christ.
We'll go on with
He had some good. I'm sorry. He had two decent solo albums with good songs. off
Yeah,
of
fuck
them.
yeah. The one he did when he was at school in Nebraska
Yeah.
was it Take
Tommy
Me
Land?
Away? Yeah.
yeah. He had
That was good.
some
There's some
good
good songs
duets
off of that.
too.
Who you got,
Um,
Ren?
I got Limp Bizkit, Nookie.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mm.
all right. So
That's the song you like? Okay,
that's the
yeah,
song.
go ahead.
I think it's their best song. Look, and I'm going to tell you why. Nookie isn't good because it's mature. It's good because it's committed. You know, it's not subtle. It's not poetic. It's just culturally undeniable. The right song at the right time for the right band. And if we're being honest, a song that ridiculous surviving 25 years, that's impressive.
I was going to
Obviously,
say
don't
fun fact. I think that was it about Britney Spears, Joseph? Was he talking about Britney Spears in that video? That was the rumor back in the day, wasn't it?
I thought it was either her or Christina Aguilera, because I remember she
Yeah, it was one of
performed
them.
at
That was before
MTV
they were
Movie-
big. This was like their big breakout song, were they?
No, well, they were big from the first album. The first
They
album
did,
made them
yeah.
popular. This
They did
song,
Faith.
so, you know what? Like, honestly, for a second album, a sophomore album, first single, it was a very, like, look, you can't say Limp Bizkit wasn't fucking bringing it or making bank or putting out, like, I know you don't like them, but like that song was massive, and that was the first single off of their second album. You know how many bands or musicians fail to meet the success of their first album?
Yeah. Nirvana
That
being
could-
a famous.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it was their second
it's-
album, right? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, second, commercial album, great album, but just like I guess, and there's a whole story on that on the recording.
My second selection for honorable mention was Train Drops of Jupiter. Look, all of Train's songs sound like someone just discovered metaphors and will not stop using all these metaphors. They sound like a very intense wine tasting. I mean, this is a good song, but
White wine tasting too. White wine, like a Zinfandel or something, thinking they're real fucking. Oh my god.
you guys don't like Train, do you?
No.
All
right, don't. I don't even like
Did
writing
you say
in
"Drops of
trains.
Jupiter"? Is this the song you
Yeah,
selected?
yeah.
Okay,
It's a good song.
No, I'm not a fan of theirs.
It's a great story. The lead singer wrote it about his mom. I
I'm willing
believe.
to bet money. Randy stands up right now. He's wearing leather pants after mentioning Drops of Jupiter.
We'll just go on. Controversial pick here, but I want your take on this one. Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. Let me say why, and then
Tell me
we'll go-
why. No, tell me why.
I remember what we were talking about, but we'll get to it.
Okay. In Sync, they had a better career, right? But this is the second greatest boy band song ever after Jackson 5's I'll Be There. First of all, nobody knows what the lyrics mean. Not them, not us, not
New
science.
Kids on the Block is going to sue somebody.
Tell me why. Tell me what about what? We have zero idea what these guys are pining about, but it makes sense. And the worst part is the chorus activates something primal. You don't choose to sing it, your body does. But I think this is a great song, guys. You don't. Maybe I should delete that last
My
line.
bad. You don't choose to sing it, your body does.
You know what? Now that you mention it, what the fuck is that song about?
Two
Ain't
Swedish
nothing
guys
but a
wrote it.
heartbreak. I never want to hear you say, Joseph, I want it that way. That does. What
What
is
was
she
the
talking
way
about?
that they want? I mean, like, what are they talking
One finger
about?
better make it two.
I want it that way. What? What do you want that you want that way? Tell me why.
We
Tell
just
me
gained
why.
a shitload of fans and lost a shitload of
It's
fans.
not
all
tell
in
me
one-
why. It's
all
tell
in
me
one
what
minute.
are you talking about?
Bob, you don't like that song, do you?
No, obviously.
Okay, all right, we'll just move on.
brush my teeth to it.
It's
Yeah.
at this point it's comical to me. There's too
And-
much.
okay,
so
but
like
let's-
it's not that I don't like it. It's just it's funny to me. So,
Yeah,
so
but
how do you
also,
not?
also too, like, when that song came out, I wasn't a 13-year-old girl, so I didn't connect to it. I could see why they liked it. You know what I mean? But I was listening to, fucking Metallica's One. I wasn't listening to the Backstreet Boys. So it's not like, I don't think it's a bad song. It's just not a song that I jam to. You know what I mean?
Okay, we'll move on. I got Kim Carnes, Betty Davis Eyes. Look, I only know a handful of Kim Carnes songs, but I know she was in We Are the World, and her voice was so scratchy. Even Bruce Springsteen and Huey Lewis were like, fuck. Calm down. Yo,
What are you smoking?
Kim Carnes sounds like a leather jacket that sort of learned how to sing, right? She kind of sounds like an ashtray narrating its own damage. So we'll just move on from Kim Carnes. Here's another pick I got that I think I have three more picks here. Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True.
Love
Look,
that song. Even though
One
it's
hit
not
wonder,
them.
another one hit wonder, another one hit wonder.
Well, no. They had Blame It on the Rain. They had Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You.
Did they?
Yeah,
Did
they
they?
did.
Yeah,
Blame It on the Rain.
I know,
Blame It on
I
the
know
Rain
what they
was a
had,
bigger
but they were
song.
still one hit wonder.
They had about four
I
hits.
don't know
Sounded
those
like the same
songs, but
fucking
were
song.
those actually their songs or was it not their songs?
It's by the Milli Vanilli label. That's all I know. Whether Robin Fab sang them. Look, authenticity matters. I get it. But catchiness is undefeated. If a song survives the scandal, the lip syncing scandal, the lawsuits, VH1 documentaries, if it survived biker shorts with blazers, that's resilience. This is a great song.
It depends what you're
I do like
holding
the
in those
song,
bags
and
for.
I liked that the real singers of that song got the credit that they should have.
Absolutely.
Because it was a good song. Look, I listened to that. It came out on radio a lot, I guess, or I don't know. Like I grew up listening to that song and then learning that it wasn't them. I mean, I still listen to it. I'm not gonna say that I didn't. You can still go watch the fake YouTube videos. I mean, it's still all there. You're right. Like, right,
Yeah.
you're right, Rand. The name, the brand Milli Vanilli is still.
But the heart and soul that's on those tapes.
So, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Baby, don't forget my number. 4 hits, Bob. 4 hits. Okay. Hoobastank, Crawling in the Dark. Look, The Reason is a very
Yeah.
bad song. I respected
I
Hoobastank
hate The
more
Reason.
when they were Hill Country Fair.
The reason
Incubus,
is you.
Yeah.
You know? So I have Fresh Prince, Will Smith / Will Smith, Summertime. This song has never caused a fight, right? It's not loud. It's not edgy or
I
obnoxious.
like that song.
I know this is the only rap song your aunt plays on purpose, but it's good windows down energy. You both like this song, right?
Mhm.
Our ants play Welcome to Miami, bro. Come on, man. You're Latino or not?
So those are our honorable mentions brought to you by Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way.
and Randall's body moving to it.
So we're going to go on with our selections. Best song by an artist that we hate. My selection is Picture by Kid Rock.
Oh, no.
I found your picture today. I swear I'll change my way.
Some quick facts here. It was released in 2002. It was a duet with Sheryl Crow. Massive crossover hit, charted on country and rock radio. This became Kid Rock's most commercially enduring ballad. The man built a career on rap rock bravado and then accidentally wrote the most divorced dad karaoke anthem of the 2000s. Why I hate Kid Rock. I got to establish bias first because that's the point of this show. The aesthetic feels performative. The brand feels louder than the music. It's genre tourism. The vibe of look at me, edgy, that energy just always turned me off. But Kid Rock has this energy of someone who says you wouldn't understand before explaining absolutely nothing. He's the human equivalent of a Bucky's gas station without the clean bathroom. He built a career on being unapologetic, which is impressive when you think about how much apologizing most people do for ever enjoying his music. But I'm going to tell you why Picture works. We got to get smart here because this song is simple. On paper, the song sounds like a country radio prank, but it's not posturing. It's about regret. It's about distance. It's about two adults who messed up. That duet dynamic works. Sheryl Crow grounds it. She humanizes the chaos. And Sheryl Crow, yes, she's a human cheat code in this song, and I get it. She stabilizes the whole thing. She doesn't let it turn into a melodrama. She makes it feel like two adults who broke something they can't fix. Now, remember, Sheryl Crow was with Lance Armstrong, so she went from dating a guy with one nut to singing alongside one nut. Okay, I didn't get a reaction to that joke. Okay. Okay.
You leave Lance Armstrong alone, motherfucker. Didn't hurt anyone. Never hurt him. Just rode his bike everywhere.
I'm sure this was not her favorite mistake, by the way. Okay, so little trivia here. Even though Atlantic Records was unable to obtain the rights to release Sheryl Crow's version as a single, mainstream rock alternative and some country radio stations disregarded this and played the original version featuring Crow because the song was so good. While other country music radio stations played the radio edit featuring an artist by the name of Alison Moorer instead. This song is not trying to be ironic. It's not trying to be cool. It's just sad. And vulnerability from someone
like
you
their
expect
careers.
And vulnerability from someone you expect swagger from. I mean, that hits. This song sounds like it was written after the bar closed. It's the only Kid Rock song where he sounds like he's sitting down. This is the one time the brand got out of the way. Picture is Kid Rock's best song because it's the only one where the music matters more than the persona. He forgot to be Kid Rock for a few minutes, and shit, that worked for him. All right, listen, I don't like Kid Rock. I don't like the brand. I don't like the aesthetic. I don't like the volume of his personality. I don't like his halftime shows, but Picture, that's a real song. It works because he stops performing and he starts to confess. He starts confessing. There's no genre fronting. There's no swagger. There's no look at me. It's just regret, and regret is undefeated. This is the one time the sunglasses come off. The ego clocks out early. He sounds tired. He sounds human. He sounds like somebody who made a mistake and he knows it. What do you guys think of this song?
No, you literally could have picked any other fucking Kid Rock song from the early 2000s. I probably would have agreed with you, but you went with this song, and for this is such a horrible fucking song, and only God knows why it's his most vulnerable ballad. Randall, everybody fucking knows that. That's his best non-rap rock new metal type.
He also
of
did
song.
Lonely Road of Faith.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you're like, well, it's his most unpretentious song. Motherfucker's wearing a cowboy hat and Carhartt and walking through a ranch. No mama's way. You just fucking wore a mink coat and a fedora and a fucking gold chain with bling on it. Give me a fucking.
He didn't do that in the video.
No, he just did it in every other fucking video, but in this one, he just happens to wear cowboy hat with a feather and a Carhartt jacket, walking through the snow in his country ranch, all lonely, with his hair all straight, like he's going on a date in the 90s. Give me a fucking break, okay? He tried to create a country persona and tried to create a country ballad. It wasn't a ballad, it was a country ballad. And that's where this whole thing just goes off the fucking rails, He had a song that was quote unquote country, his first version of Cowboy Baby, where he's still doing that rap rock with a country vibe in the background, which I feel fit his lane beautifully. But this song, man, it starts off with him singing, and there's a fucking Hank Williams poster right behind him. Give me a fucking break. You think that all that Detroit trailer trash bullshit that he was pulling before works with a fucking Hank Williams poster? Give me a goddamn break, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. The music video doesn't match what his persona was. This is obviously a cash grab, even more so with Sheryl Crow singing background to this fucking song. You could have picked any other one from the 2000s, Rand, and I would have been like, yeah, I like it. There's a lot of songs from Kid Rock that I used to like in the 2000s. Only God Knows Why, I guarantee you, great, great fucking song. Cowboy was a great song. Even All Summer Long, good song, rap country, his way, raunchy, white trash trailer, that kind of vibe that he was going with Summer Long. Even in that one, it has like Sweet Home Alabama or Werewolf of London background music. But in the video, he's still on a fucking yacht with girls in bikinis shaking their tits everywhere, and he's in a fedora and a wife beater. But all of a sudden, 2 years later, oh no, he's cleaned up his act. This is from the soul. He's wearing a cowboy hat now. He means it. This is for reals. I just don't buy it. I don't buy this pick. You could have picked any other one from Kid Rock because he has had some solid hits. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know. I do not get this one at all. So, that Joseph, please either help Randall out or tell me I'm full of shit. I don't know.
I appreciate the passion, Bob. What do you got, Joseph?
Look, I'm
Some
not
drunk
gonna
on a
lie.
bar still somebody's like, here. He fucking just spilled his beer. Go ahead, Joseph.
I'm not gonna lie. Kid Rock's "Devil Without a Cause" album is the one that in my opinion made him famous. I know he had albums out before that.
Yeah.
Look, this is what made him a star. Songs like "Bull God" and "Ball with the Ball" and "Cowboy," like that whole, like, the singles off of that album were great. So like if this is you're gonna go with Kid Rock, so I can agree with Bob in this sense. You're gonna go with Kid Rock as your musician. That, look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't personally like him now. I don't like the music that he makes now, even though it's a little bit played out at this point because he's still kind of doing the same thing. But he also, like, he's just, he is who he is now, and just leave it at that. Not my cup of tea. But I was a fan of this dude. I had his songs on burned CDs. I would jam these songs. Listen, it would get me pumped up before a game or something. When we were
Bull God
younger.
was badass. Ball with the Ball was awesome. I listened to Cowboy.
Exactly.
Only God Knows Why was still a really great song, at least in my opinion.
So I got to agree with Bob that if you're going to say, if you've never liked Kid Rock at all in your entire life, Rent, and you're going to pick his best song, you're completely wrong. I don't care for Picture.
Sorry, Randy. I was trying to mute my laugh. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
I don't particularly like Picture. It's not my thing. I prefer Lonely Road of Faith or Only God Knows Why if I'm going to listen to a Kid Rock ballad. Coincidentally, that the album that song is on, what was it, Cocky? That maybe only had like one single and this one, and that just wasn't a successful album. You could have gone with, I honestly think if you're going to pick Kid Rock's best song, because it's Ball with the Ball. I mean, that shit's just, like, to this day it still gets played places, I don't know where, but it does. It does. Yeah, halftime shows. So I don't agree with I feel your sentiment on the selection, the artist, because I'm also currently not, fan, but I was, and if I'm going to pick something that I think is the best from him, it's going to probably be from that album that made me want to listen to him. Preferably probably Ball with the Ball.
He did have some ballads. You guys pointed out the other two big ones. I felt that this song was the most. It was a distillation of the brand, right? You talked about how we don't like the sunglasses, the cap, the tank top, the Americana.
To be honest, I always thought this was more Sheryl Crow's song than Kid Rock.
Well, it's on his album and it's featuring Sheryl Crow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kid Rock always leaned into this larger than life character, part outlaw, part rock star, part Americana symbol. But I felt like this song, and he's been vulnerable in a lot of his songs. I think that's part of his success, is that he put the gloves down and sang Only God Knows Why and Lonely Road of Faith. But I felt this song was the most honest because it wasn't pretentious about a venture he was taking. It was a collaborative initiative of, like, we both messed up in this life, and they're telling a story that we've all gone through, right? And so I felt it was the most relatable.
I've never been to that
shit. Moving on.
sorry. I had to.
I respect the growth from the musician at the time. But no, if I don't agree with it being his. It's this, but what's the topic? The best song from somebody you don't. Okay, so in your opinion, that's his best song.
That's his.
I don't like Kid Rock either right now, but, like, I can't say that's his best song. So It's just not. It's not my thing. If I'm gonna, like I said, if we're gonna talk ballads, if using what you argued, the step away from the character, not being the showman and being vulnerable, yeah, it's gonna be one of the other two songs for me. If he's gonna show some vulnerability, it's either only God knows why,
yeah.
or Lonely Road of Faith. Not the love ballad. Sorry, just not for me.
I felt like Only God Knows Why has a lot of pretension in it as well, but we'll go
Oh
on.
yeah,
He
We'll
was
go
just
on.
sitting
yeah.
there
I
trying to
agree. I
find
just think,
himself.
yeah, but I mean, like, I think that was more him still being him. You know, Elvis still
Yeah,
wore
I
the
got you.
sunglasses and dressed like a fucking sparkly and shit when he sang it. Love me fucking tender. So you know, you can still be you and sing a ballad. You know what I mean?
Joseph, we got your selection next. What do you got for us?
Oh shit, I'm next. All right.
Oh damn.
All right, everybody. I chose Wanted Dead or Alive from Bon Jovi.
I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I want it.
If you know anything about me, I'm not a Bon Jovi fan. I actually really hate his music. It's nothing personal, like we mentioned earlier. He has always seemed like a really good dude, a cool guy. I'm sure he's charitable. He's a sports fan. I know that.
Got a
And-
beautiful fucking head of hair. I'm just saying.
This is just strictly his music, okay? I am not a fan of his music. I hate his music. So let's put all that the personal stuff aside. This is a good song, right? It's unlike the party anthem "Living on a Prayer" or the ballad "Always." Shout out to Steffi. I know that was your pick on one episode that we did back in the days, but I hate that song. Both songs.
What song?
Always.
Always.
That's a great song, by the way. We got to have him back.
You like
on
the
and
music
defend it.
video, yeah.
Both of those I can't stand. This is it, but this is different. This is it's personal, you know, it's honest. It's not the 80s glam rock party vibe. Although he wasn't as caked up all the time as the other, you know, 80s glam metal bands at the time. He's still came out around that era and around that time. So he's, in my opinion, he's kind of glam rock. He just wasn't the one looking most like a bitch.
I think that goes to Poison's lead singer.
The lyrics the lyrics have real
Prettiest
depth to them.
man
They
I ever
do.
saw.
The stories of traveling rock musicians. Yes, it's a party, you know, but sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes there's a theme here with these two selections first, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the solitude can get to you, and your job is to go out there, you know, city to city and perform. And I think this captures, you know, the weariness of that life. It's, you know, it's comparable to Turn the Page by Bob Seger, a great fucking song. I love that song. Musically, it has one of the most memorable guitar intros we've ever heard. Not gonna lie, that cowboy outlaw vibe, and it doesn't stray far from that tone. It's a rock anthem, yes, but it's not over the top. Like I mentioned, Kickstart My Heart earlier in the beginning. I like that song. I do. Like I said, I do like Kickstart My Heart, but it does kind of go a little off the rails with the guitar solo. I mean, it's cool. We've all seen that scene in The Office where Dwight's psyching himself up in the car listening to Kickstart My Heart. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of where the song goes a little like, you know, off the rails, but hey, it's still a good song. Yeah, it keeps its cool, right? So it keeps its cool and its cinematic tone. And again, it's got great memorable lyrics, right? It's that opening line. It's all the same. Only the names will change. Every day it seems we're wasting away. God dang. That's
I'm fucking crying over here, God.
that's a great opening lyric, right? To a great intro, a song that already has a great intro. That slow build up with that steel guitar. I think they say, what was it, a 12-string? He's got 15 fingers.
Dusty Lee.
Dusty Lee. Again, great opening lyrics. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Bon Jovi, just kind of making this one short and sweet, but I got no problem jamming this song. It's got tremendous staying power. We still hear it to this day in commercials, TV, film. It was released August 10th, 1986. In a couple of months, it's going to be 40 years old, bros. It's going to be a 40-year-old song that still has staying power, tremendous staying power, and I think it's his quintessential song. I know he's got, you know, people might argue, oh, it's maybe Living on a Prayer or You Give Love a Bad Name or something. I believe it's this one. I believe it's Wanted Dead or Alive. That is his legacy, and we're still going to hear this song in another 10 years. It's still going to be playing.
We're halfway there, Joseph.
We're halfway there, right? Guys, what do you think?
Wow, you sound like you like Bon Jovi.
I know. No
I was like,
shit,
oh
Jesus.
shit. Okay, so
Fake.
obviously Joseph is not one of the million faces Bon Jovi has rocked. Okay, I have a story before I defend this. Like 2010 Mardi Gras, New Orleans. I remember karaokeing to this song at a bar. In this event, there was this gigantic emotional
It's funny.
event.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because I karaoke'd your song
Oh, did you?
once at a bar. I'm not gonna lie.
What the fuck is wrong with
This
you
is a-
all? It's like
You know
I
what?
don't even know you.
You know what?
And that's our show.
There was a good reason why I did, but that's a long time ago, and just leave that in the
Please.
I
past.
was a
right?
different man.
Please don't tell me Bob was a Sheryl Crow part. All right, so
No, I want no fucking part of this. Either one of y'all.
in this event at the Mardi Gras karaoke,
At the Sheraton
At the
lobby bar.
there was this gigantic drunk guy singing the Richie Sambora part when I was singing. He was singing it like it was his life's purpose. He wasn't harmonizing, he was declaring. And I think about that large man sometimes. Did he make it home? Did he make it out of Bourbon Street? Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he still out there on a steel horse riding? I always think about this song, karaoke to it. I think about that memory. Man, this should have been my wedding song. What a fantastic song. So, quick facts. This song was released in the mega huge 1987 album Slippery When Wet, which had many great songs, Joseph, right? Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name, all a bunch of songs that you don't like, but that everybody else loves. It's basically a cowboy rock song, right? The steel horse being a metaphor for the tour bus. John Bon Jovi was inspired to write this song as they were on tour, city to city. It's a live staple arena anthem. Shockingly, and this was the biggest shock, it only reached number 7 on the Billboard charts, which is wild because culturally it feels bigger. This was the song that kickstarted the Unplugged craze. And at a 1989 MTV Music Video Awards, John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora performed this with just their acoustic guitars, giving the network the idea for the Unplugged series. So if you like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, STP Unplugged, then you have to credit Bon Jovi for introducing the Unplugged series. The producers of Young Guns 2 wanted to use this in the movie, but John Bon Jovi didn't think it fit lyrically since it was not about a literal cowboy. It was just a metaphoric song about touring. He met with the movie executives and played some songs on acoustic guitar, one of them being Blaze of Glory, which was used in the film. And of course, that was his first release as a solo artist. Dead or Alive is such a great song, cinematic, dusty, but is it their best? I don't think so. Their best song is Living on a Prayer. Ironically, Living in Sin is number 2, but Wanted Dead or Alive is number 3 for me, Joseph. So you had it in the top 3. So it's tough to argue, but this song is prestige TV. Their best songs are blockbuster cinema, but this was a great selection because you perhaps got the pick right, but you got the band wrong, man. I want to wrap up by giving Bon Jovi their flowers, Joseph, a term that you love. Bon Jovi mastered something most bands cannot scale. They understood the mathematics of they understood Aquanet too. They understood the mathematics of a chorus. They knew how to engineer a moment where 80,000 strangers all sing the same line and feel briefly invincible. And that's fucking magic. In the 80s, while everyone else was either going full excess or full nihilism, Bon Jovi said, hey, what if we make rock songs about working class hope and still make them loud enough to rattle a stadium? That's not cheesy. That's branding, discipline. Look, they're not trying to be Radiohead. They're trying to make you feel 22 again in a parking
It was
lot.
10 years before radio. Let's just slow it down, sir. They're not trying to be anything before.
They're trying to make you feel 22 again in a parking lot with the windows down. And culturally, I mean, man, they nailed it. You can mock their chest hair. You can mock their power ballads. But if Living on a Prayer comes on and you don't yell the chorus, that's not taste. That's denial. Bon Jovi didn't chase cool. And I think that's why you probably don't like them, because they weren't a cool band. But they chased connection. And connection ages better than cool ever does. They understood something most bands forgot. People want to sing. And that's why I think, Joseph, I think this pick is great. But I also think the band is great. What do you think, Bob?
Okay, first off, nobody wants anybody who sings along with "It's My Life" is full of shit. Okay, they're fucking anybody who sings along with that and like they're impassioned by it. You grow the fuck up. Okay, grow the fuck up. All right, this is a great song by Bon Jovi. I don't have the same, you know, hate or disdain for Bon Jovi as Joseph does. I actually think they're a great band. Living on a Prayer, big band. I think they're like an anthem band. I know you probably don't agree with that, but they were an anthem band. They wanted to create songs that fans could sing along to. And and that's not, I mean, a lot of bands weren't doing that in the 80s. They found a little niche and they were like, we can just do this. And so I think it really worked out for them. This is a great song because of why? Emilio Estevez, Young Guns. Come on, bro.
That's Blazing Glory, though. That's Blazing.
Yeah, no,
the wrong song.
No, yeah, but no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You think of Young Guns, you think of Bon Jovi and their country cowboy rock song. This shit fits. It fits. Okay, that's what you're thinking of. Emilio Kiefer. You know what I mean? You had everybody in that fucking movie. Young Guns, it changed the trajectory of Bon Jovi's lives. You can thank them for that. Okay, it's a good song, man. I really do. Like all jokes aside, it's a really, really good song.
It is.
The only song I really can't really stomach from them, it's My Life. It's just shut up, okay?
Yeah, they're 57 years old.
yeah. I'm 57 years old. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of that one, but I was extremely surprised when Joe said, I'm going to pick a Bon Jovi song. It's like, what the fuck? Didn't see that one coming. So yeah, kudos to you, man. It's a good pick. It's a good song. I'm glad you can finally admit it.
I've always admitted.
Bob is up with the last selection of the night. Bob, what do you got for us?
Here we go. If he thought I pissed Randy off earlier with my argument, this is right up his poop shoot right here. Band I'm not a fan of is U2. U2 has a vibe in Bono, and they have a vibe where it just does not suit. It's not my cup of tea. I'm into old school type of rock, and I'm into guitarists that play their own solos that don't hit a string and then press a bunch of buttons and make it do all these crazy sounds and making it seem like they're doing a solo when they're not. Sorry, it doesn't work for me that way. U2 has just never really hit with me, and I guess that's why I chose the song that I chose, because it doesn't sound anything like a U2 song. If you were to play my song on the radio without knowing the band when it first came out, I guarantee you a lot of people would have a hard time figuring out that it was a U2 song. And with that, I chose U2's Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. And it's from the Batman Forever soundtrack. This song by U2 had a completely different music video based along the Batman soundtrack in comic book style. It had a completely different sound. It has more of like a 90s alternative sound rather than their like poppy rock anthem, whatever the fuck they try to do. Sorry, Ran. It just their music has never really appealed to me. But again, I'm more into like 60s, 70s hard rock, bluesy rock. I'm into more grunge and alternative rock, and this band just never really fit what I'm into. Not that I don't like the band or dislike Bono or anything like that. They've just never been my thing, my cup of tea. A lot of people are going to argue against me, and they're going to say, well, With or Without You, man, that's the great song. How could you not pick With or Without You? That's Ross and Rachel's song. Well, I don't have a vagina, and I wasn't 20 years old when Friends came out. I was still a little kid, so I don't connect with that fucking song. Sorry. There's Sunday, Bloody Sunday. It's okay. Still kind of poppy, and, they're talking about something like really like deep shit when they're talking about Sunday, Bloody Sunday in the lyrics wise, but then it's really like, sing along with me. It's, hey, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. He only says it 18 fucking times in the song. Okay. It's a beautiful day. Might as well be a fucking Coldplay song. You can argue with me in that, but you know what? It's true. It's true. And you know what? I figured out when I started this beef with U2, because I don't hate the band, but I do have a beef with them because they're the only fucking band that was so shitty that had to have an album automatically added to your iPhone because they knew this fucking shit wasn't going to sell.
I have a beef with them.
Yeah. So they fucking added this entire album to your iPhone. Just listen, dude. We're giving it to you for fucking free, man. Just take a listen. You might find something, maybe a lyric or maybe something you can connect with. No, it was fucking deleted the moment it was added to my goddamn phone. Okay, so the only band that's ever done that, and this is why I hold a grudge. But in all joking aside, the Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. Fantastic fucking song. Very grunge, very 90s, very of that decade, very of that sound, man. I really, really do dig this song ever since it came out. And it's fantastic. Again, U2, huge band, just like Pearl Jam, like plenty of bands that we've mentioned, just not my cup of tea. But I think this song really holds up, and I think just like Randall's argument, this song is definitely out of left field. It's something completely different than what U2 has done since then, did before then, and it's a different sound. I granted it's specifically for a movie, but I think it's fantastic. I think it's right up my alley, and so that's my pick, man. Randall, come on, Randy's you should see him. He's leaned forward. He's rocking. He might as well be in a rocking chair.
I'm gonna let Joseph go at it first, and then I got you.
I think this is a great song. Yes, because yes, me and Bob grew up together. We're at the same age.
We did.
Randy's like 15 years older than us, but
I don't see why you have to go there. Never mind,
No, but,
Randall.
like,
I fucking love you too.
so yeah. You know what? Like, I'm not gonna lie. With or Without You is a great song. But I do really like this selection. I thought, like, when I remember watching the movie, yes, for the movie, when when the credits were rolling and this song was playing, I was like, well, where the fuck was this song throughout the movie? It's a great song. I'm not the biggest YouTube fan either. I'm not. I do like other songs from him. Obviously, I don't know. I didn't watch Friends, so I don't know that situation. I know With or Without You without Friends. So, and I think it's a great song.
It sounds so lonely.
With or Without You is probably most people would say their number one. Yeah, like
This is a big
maybe
breakout song.
their
Yeah.
big song, the biggest
Joshua
hit
Tree.
of their career. Aside from you're gonna have the fan base or the people that are like Bob said, oh, it's Friends, but no, there's actually, I think, like, even casual. Randy's probably, he might agree that
These are just all people that wear vests without shorts underneath, Joseph.
Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Is okay. I can tolerate that. Where the Streets Have No End, I think, has a great intro, but then it's when the song kicks off, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. Yeah, Beautiful Day is terrible. Sunday Bloody Sunday, hate that song. One, hate that song.
There's only one. It's Metallica's one. Or Creed.
I
Creed
kind
had a
of
good
got
one.
it. Like, I don't have
Creed, yeah.
many. One. I can't.
It's the only way it's one, Joseph.
I don't have too many songs to argue are better than like like a situation with Ran where, like, okay, I did really enjoy Kid Rock's first breakthrough album. So there's more songs off of that one that I would definitely say is better than his selection. I'm at a bit of a standstill here with U2 because they're not my favorite. There's not really anybody that I've never really listened to. But so if I'm going to compare it to probably what I would say is the biggest hit for them, With or Without You, I'd say, yeah, I like Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me better than that because of its vibe, because of like how Bob described it. This more, came out in the 90s, right? So it maybe
Like a 90s alternative vibe. A little grungy, a little harder on the...
little different, I'd say, from
Little
what
darker,
Rand,
yeah.
Rand, please let me know in a little bit if you can compare the song of this sound to their other songs, because you are a fan of theirs.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this is a great selection for this band. If you're in the situation that Bob is, or anybody that feels the way that Bob does, where you choose not your cup of tea. We keep saying cup of tea today.
Yeah.
no.
I'm keeping count. You're at 5 of them already.
Yes, I think I've said it like 6 times.
This argument brought to you
Why don't we
by
just say tequila? Another sip of
Lipton.
beer.
brought to you by Lipton and the old Lipton tea
Brought to you by
commercials. Like
England.
that.
Try a biscuit.
But yeah, this is a really good song. I really do like this song. My only beef with it is when it trails off into the little soft, because it sounds so like rocky and dun 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 dun, dun. And then it kind of, the chorus kind of goes off in a little soft, like little. I'm like, no. Keep the rock. Keep
That's
the
awesome,
rock.
Joseph. That was
Tiny
awesome.
Tim all of a sudden.
Keep that rock going, man. And so yeah, great selection for, like I said, for a band like U2. If you're not into them, this is I agree. This is a great fucking song. Ran, please let me know if there's a song comparable to this, since, like I said, you're a fan of them. And what is your rebuttal to Bob?
I pretty much drank my entire water the whole time Bob was talking because I was getting so pissed off.
It wasn't even a cup of tea.
It wasn't a cup of tea. it was a whole thing of water. Look, I love you too. It's no secret. When
I
Bono,
love you too, man.
when Bono sings and doesn't talk, he's one of my favorite people in the world, because singing Bono saves the world. Talking Bono schedules a panel about it. I would love to have Bono sing our podcast intro, but I wouldn't want him as a guest. I love this band so much. I know it's fashionable to, roll your eyes and be dismissive about them, but I know there was the iTunes incident as well. And I agree with you. 2012. I know Bono occasionally sounds like he's about to launch a foundation mid-bridge, and that gets annoying. But when Bono sings, when he actually sings, that man is cathedral level. There's something about that voice. It's earnest.
I think he's got a good voice.
He's got an amazing voice. It's earnest without being small. It's dramatic without apologizing. U2 doesn't dabble. They fully commit. They build arenas inside the song. And yes, they can be grand. Yes, they can be ridiculous. But I would rather have a band aim for transcendence and occasionally look ridiculous than aim for nothing and call it cool. So when Bono sings, it's not subtle. It's belief, and belief in rock music. I mean, that's so rare now. We talk about it all the time. So yeah, I'm defending them loudly. And no, I don't own 3 scarves, just one. So okay, Bob, for this song, I went ahead.
Not surprising.
I went ahead and I listed, in my opinion, U2's best songs until I got to Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. And so these were my top 5. Number 1 was Bad. Number 2.
That's Michael Jackson. Next.
Number 2 is With or Without You. Number 3, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
You need to keep, my grandma would say, well, keep looking way.
Number 4, Pride in the Name of Love. Number 5, Until the End of the World. I have Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, number 27, sandwiched between The Unforgettable Fire and I Will Follow. So it took me listing all these U2 songs that I love until I got to number 27. And that is a good song, Bob. That's no argument, but it's not even in their top 25. But that's how great this band is. They have
First off, they don't have a top 25. Let's just fucking slow your roll. You should hear their early stuff. You should hear their
you have to.
B-sides.
Yes.
No. Yeah, and the reason why I like this song is probably the reason why you like the Kid Rock song. This is completely different from what they normally put out. And that's why you have it ranked so low, because you're into that shit that he normally puts out, and this is something that doesn't even sound like U2, so of course it'd be at the bottom of your pile.
No,
it doesn't sound like U2. At least in my opinion, it doesn't sound like U2.
I mean, I think 27's high. I could probably list 150 U2 songs that I like.
Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus,
here's some quick facts about the song. It was written specifically for the Batman Forever soundtrack. I know that you guys prefer Kiss from a Rose. Who doesn't? This song was originally intended.
Joseph Seal.
You
don't mess with Seal.
So Joseph, your question was
sorry.
Joseph, your question was, did the song sound like anything else that they put out? Is that what you're so
because I said it was different from anything else that I had heard from them.
They went through their experimental electronica phase. So if you listen to the Zooropa album, all their songs sound like this. So it wasn't different. I know you guys are saying, well, it's different from U2, and they didn't perform any song. Listen to Zooropa. That whole album sounds like this song. So I mean,
I'll pass.
It was a stadium level big hit. It was a fully the video was cool. I love the animated video that came with this song. This is not their best song. I think you're connecting it to maybe Batman Forever, and that's okay because we all know Val Kilmer was the best Batman. So it's a big song.
Whoa. Michael fucking Keaton would like to have a word, sir.
It's a big song. It's theatrical. It's wearing eyeliner and making eye contact too long while smoking a cigarette and offering you to buy you a drink, right? But U2's best songs, those are spiritual songs. Those are the architecturally internal.
He's not even a real Catholic. Let's stop.
Those songs are turn the lights down and contemplate your life songs. This is glam U2.
You forgot the word alone. Alone. You turn the lights off alone. Contemplate life alone, because you're gonna be living alone if you keep playing U2 all the goddamn time.
This is glam U2. It's comic book U2. Look, they went through their Zooropa phase. It was a big stadium tour. They were the biggest band in the world at the time. Is it my favorite album? No, it's not. It's a good album, but I always felt that U2 their earnest albums, their salvation albums are better.
I like when he saved Christmas.
This is spectacle. It's not salvation. The irony is fascinating, but U2's best songs are always sincere to the point of danger. And I've always connected them to events in my life. And maybe that's why I like U2 more, because I've been listening to them since I was 4 or 5 years old, grew up with them. Are all their songs great? No. Have they been relevant in the past 20 years? Probably not. and they've fallen off the trajectory very much so. But at their apex, I would say from 1980, 1982 to 2002, for 20 years they were just on it, and they were my favorite band for a very long time. So it's a personal connection for me.
They literally just released an EP 2 days ago. Did you know that?
On your phone?
When I looked them up,
but it's only if you have a Cricket phone.
when I looked them up on
Random will spit out his water. That's exactly why I said that.
on Amazon Music, because let's and just to add a little tidbit, I guess I'm wondering where this song is on the scale of YouTube. Like, I guess
Like the hits, or
no, like I want to say the diehard YouTube fans, I guess. Like
I can only speak for myself, right? But I don't think they would put this in their top 20. I don't think so. I'm
really,
just
yeah,
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because, like I said, when I was
See how much
listening-
money it made them, and then we'll fucking have a different conversation.
I like to, listen to when we do songs. I like to have the songs play while y'all are in my headphones while y'all are giving the description. It kind of goes hand in hand. It works for me sometimes. And so when I was trying to find this song to play on, this is Amazon Music, so I don't know what it would be on iTunes or anything else, Spotify. When I searched for it and just went to like all the top YouTube songs, it wasn't even coming out. I had to actually
not on there.
type it in by
Yeah.
name just to listen to it while Bob was talking about it and get, because that's what I like to do.
So you weren't paying attention to my arguments.
No.
You don't like what I have to say. Is that what you're saying?
It works. Try
Podcast
it.
is
Try it.
over.
As we do our wrap up questions here, does every band deserve one moment of grace?
Yes.
What do you guys think? Okay.
Yes.
Why so?
You know what I mean? I think that every single band that's out there tries their best to have their voice to be heard, or
I'm
their
not a
sound to be
musician.
heard, or their
If you're out
creative
there-
whatever to be heard. And I think they should have a moment of grace where they're like, hey man, they should all be given their flowers, whether it's your cup of tea or not. Use it again. There's somebody out there that's going to connect to a song or a band or their sound. So I think they should all be given their flowers in some sense, or given their grace. You know what I mean? Whether you like them or not, they're somebody's flavor. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think they should.
Like we said in the beginning, this isn't a personal thing with them. Like, although Bob really hates Bono for some reason.
I do not.
No, just fucking around.
Him and the
This-
Savage Children.
This isn't a personal thing. It's a musical thing. It's just not for me. Like this Bon Jovi is just not for me. But I gotta admit, this song, my selection, the song I select, it's a good song. It is. That's the point of this episode. So yes, you're a musician. Hey man, it takes credit to anybody that wants to do this. Credit to the people that want to get up in front of people and play an instrument and sing a song, because it means something to them. So yes, every
Yeah.
band, musician, whatever, what did you say, deserves their flowers?
Deserve some grace.
A moment of grace.
Oh, grace, moment of grace.
Yeah.
She died 12 years ago. What she
died.
Admitting a band you dislike made one undeniable song isn't surrender. It's intellectual honesty. There's a difference between being wrong and being involved. I think absolutely yes. Most bands, because even chaos occasionally stumbles into clarity. Art is messy. Careers are messy. Eras are messy. But if a band that you traditionally don't like puts out a song and I guess you could say you're vulnerable enough to admit that you like it, I think that shows that your musical integrity is there, right? We could talk about consequences. It's easy to hate. Hate is loud. Hate is efficient. It's harder to say, you know what, that one worked. I mean, I think that's range. I think it was great that we got to admit that some of these bands we don't like typically, they entertained us. They gave us a good song that we enjoyed.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Agreed.
we do this show and it's all argumentative. So like we're trying to prove a point. We're trying to be over the top, and we're trying to really argue our case for our song or our pick or whatever. But we really do all enjoy these bands. As much as we say Joseph doesn't like Bon Jovi. Yeah, but he doesn't hate Bon Jovi. As much as I don't, not a big fan of U2. We hear fucking With or Without You. Me and the wife will hear it. She'll fucking play it through. You know how many times I've seen that replay or that episode of Friends with the wife in the bedroom? A shitload of times, because it's everywhere. They're a larger than life band. They're a great band. And according to some people, they think they're one of the top 10, 20 bands of all time. That's definitely giving them their flowers and their grace. Just not everybody has to enjoy every band. Not everybody has to agree about music. And we can have a normal conversation being like, oh, those guys, just not for me. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. But yeah, Pearl Jam does suck.
You'd be very hard pressed to find a band who's had a 20-year career where you don't say at least one song
Yeah.
was good, even if you might not like the
Oh
song. But
yeah, for sure.
just to at least say the artistry, the sound, the popularity was good.
I'm sorry. I know we didn't mention any newish. A lot of 90s and 80s
This was a very
our
white episode.
selections.
Yes.
but I don't
talked
know.
about
I don't
Beyonce.
know new music. I talked about Beyonce. I don't know new music, so I can't say, this.
You
new
talked about
artist-
Justin Bieber. What the fuck?
Well, at this point, he's kind of old.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's right. That's
I can't mention a band that's in the last 10 years that I'm not a fan of, that, like, because I don't know, so yeah, I know a lot. Our selections were rooted in the 80s again, because I mean, hey, like it's like we said, that's what we grew up listening to, that's what we're talking about. I mean, if we had, if we had really deep dived into this, I'm sure we could have found some bands from the 90s and maybe the early 2000s that our selections were kind of to a time zone, I guess.
Look, we still don't like these bands, but we respect the one time they surprised us. And honestly, that might even be worse. Bob and Joseph, before we go, can I ask you guys maybe 5 minutes? We've lost a few people since our last episode, some famous people that we admired. And if you guys want to say a few words, I want to talk about some of these individuals. I know I'm kind of springing this on you, so if you're not prepared, don't worry.
Well, goddamn it, I've been drinking tequila all night, so I might as well cry and fucking end this shit. Okay, go ahead.
First of all, James Vanderbeek.
Oh, that was
that one was
a
sad.
tough one, man.
That one was really sad.
Especially like me and Joe. We grew up in Texas, and we played football. And Varsity Blues was such a huge
right?
movie for us.
Our lives were
Huge.
exactly like that.
Yeah, yeah. And James Vanderbeek playing the quarterback in that character was like a big character. Like if you think of like coming of age movies when you're younger, there's a good handful of them, at least for us, in like that late 90s, early 2000s type of shit. And besides like the Can't Hardly Waits and the American Pies, there was Varsity Blues and that character and that movie, and it strung a chord. I mean, it struck a chord with us, and not so much Dawson's Creek. I think I was still like not into that at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? But definitely Varsity Blues was huge for me. I must have seen that movie a couple of hundred times.
I knew James Vanderbeek from, and funny, he played another quarterback from one of my favorite, his first film, Angus.
Angus, yes.
That's one of my
He was such a dick.
films.
Yeah, what a great
right?
jerk. He was such a good jerk in that movie.
He was such a nice jerk. Even when he was a jerk, you thought he's such a nice guy. He's always smiling. Angus is one of my favorite movies. So he got his start.
It's not purple, it's plum.
In that. And then, 1, 2, 3, like 3 films later, he's a quarterback again. He's Jonathan Mox, and like Bob mentioned, that movie is such a great movie in our opinion, because we're from Texas. We played football, and he was an honorable Texan. He moved his family here, and they lived here for many years, even though he was not born here. And he loved, from what I've read, he moved, into the hill country-ish area of the state of Texas, which is an area that I fucking love. And so that one was really sad, because we grew up watching him and things. I didn't, like I said, I wasn't into Dawson's Creek, but he was such a funny dude. And like you read so many actors and actresses have come out and said how fucking genuinely sweet he was. That comedian Eric Andre, is it his name?
Yeah.
Eric Andre.
He had posted a clip about his first, I think he said it was his first like real big acting gig, was that show. It was a short-lived show, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment
23.
Mm-hmm. And James Vanderbeek like had a moment with him where he said because I guess he was feeling like it was his first thing, and he was feeling a little like a little intense, like I didn't want to fuck up. And I think he said in the video that he had posted in tribute to James Vanderbeek Vanderbeek said to him, "Hey man, you think they're just casting anybody out the streets, or like you're here for a reason?" Like he pumped him up, like, "You're here for a reason, bro. Like, you're talented, you're funny, like, own it, like, be you." And I was like, that's so fucking cool to hear that. Like, he just everything I've heard about and read about Vanderbeek was he's such just a genuine dude. So that was a big loss, and just a terrible thing for his family.
I'm so glad you brought up Angus. That was the first movie on my notes. That's where we all saw him first, right? Great mid 90s movie. Dawson's Creek had a profound effect on how young people were portrayed.
Yep.
It kind of started off with Party of Five, right? These like teen dramas where teens talk like adults. Party of Five didn't quite catch on the way Dawson's Creek did. I mean, most of us saw Party of Five for two reasons: Jennifer Love Hewitt and Nev Campbell, right? But
Love
Dawson's
Neve
Creek.
Campbell.
Dawson's Creek, Kevin Williamson, right? These long emotional dialogues, these needle drop acoustic songs that came out, just great soundtrack on that show. Love triangles that felt like life or death. Peak teen drama. You know, the WB had Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Seventh Heaven, but Dawson's Creek that came out the following year, that was the driver. It inspired shows like Felicity, Gilmore Girls, Roswell, One Tree Hill. James Vanderbeek's earnestness, his vulnerability in that show, and that daydream believability, he ran that show. He made it work. And yes, we talk a lot about how big Varsity Blues was in our life, and we know the three famous scenes, right? The whipped cream scene, the teacher at the strip
It's a banana
club,
split. That's from not another teen movie.
the teacher at the strip club, and of course, I don't want your life, you know.
Yep.
But at one point of his career, guys, in 1999, James Vanderbeek was a star of the number one movie, which Varsity Blues was number one for 2 weeks in a row, and the number one teen drama. He was hosting SNL season 24. He hosted episode 11. I mean, this guy had the world at the palm of his hands. You know, he didn't have the film career he probably should have had, right? Texas Rangers, Rules of Attraction didn't really hit, and it just never happened for him as a leading man on film. But he had this second life portraying a satirized, self-parody version of himself in Don't Trust a Bee in Apartment 23. Yeah. And he was in on the joke. He joked about the crying meme. He joked about the teen heartthrob celebrity, you know, status, but he just seemed like a real guy. And I think that's why everybody was so heartbroken over his death. Not only was he young, but just heartbroken over what seemed like a really great guy. Robert Duvall is another one we lost. Just like
Robert, Lonesome Dove, Robert Duvall, kind of like, I think this is like our dad's like
I have that on
kind
my
of
notes.
actor.
Yeah.
He's like our dad's actor in The Godfather, in Lonesome Dove, probably his two of his betrayals. He was also in what's that war movie? God damn it! I just had it in my
Apocalypse
head.
Now.
Yeah, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
he's a big time Hollywood actor who did it for years and like extremely respected actor. Love The Godfather. I've seen Lonesome Dove because my dad was a big time into cowboy movies, and I love that movie as well. I think that he's just everybody who talks about him, it's like there's a lot of respect and a lot of like admiration for him. So I think that, you know, it's a big loss in the community. But 95 years old. 90. If I live to be 95, guys, please don't ever cry for me. Be like, Jesus Christ, that fucking guy lasted at 95. Holy crap! I think that it's an amazing feat, and he had an amazing career, and I think he should definitely be celebrated as one of the greats.
Funny actor too. Like, don't get me wrong. You think Robert Duvall, like you said, you know, your dad's favorite actor, or your dad's, you know, that's you know the stuff that he did, but funny dude. Like he had some funny
What
roles.
was the one he did with Will Ferrell where he was
Kicking
his dad?
and Screaming?
Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah.
He was fucking funny in that
He's
one. Yeah.
funny in that. I mean, like he had his moments where he did, like, where he was excuse me, in comedy movies. And because I know, like, you think Robert Duvall, he's this badass, he's like, you know, the roles that he's played in movies, but he's also like did some funny shit, and he made you laugh in the things that he did, aside from, you know, when he wasn't, you know, being that guy, that fucking Robert Duvall, you know. So an incredible career, obviously, like everybody's mentioned, and just like that guy, an inspiration. One of my favorite movies, a more recent one, I thought he was awesome in The Judge. I don't know if you all ever saw that one, that where with with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, great movie.
Fucking movie.
Yeah.
What can you say that hasn't been said about him? I mean, it's just crazy.
The one thing we're going to agree about on this episode is this was your father's favorite actor. I mean, he just showed up without showing off. He had such restraint. He was the ultimate supporting titan. The Apostle was another great movie. Tender Mercies, where he won an Academy Award. I mean, this guy just was so consistent for so long, and just to be admired. And lastly, guys, we'll round it up. And this was more recent. Eric Dane And I'll start off this one. Most people will remember him from Grey's Anatomy or Euphoria, where he was great in both shows. Part heartthrob, part dramatic force, leading man energy, open about his struggle with ALS. And I know Netflix has a heartbreaking documentary that's out right now where he kind of gives like, his last words to the people he loves, his daughters. And funny thing, guys, he made his debut on TV on a Saved by the Bell episode. He was one of the evil volleyball players at the Malibu Sands. And I was like, that's Eric Dane. I did not recognize him. But doing the research for this guy's been in our lives a lot. He's been on Married with Children. He's been on so many sitcoms and TV series and movies. Open Water 2 was another one I remember him on. Any memories about him, guys?
Not really, man, because I wasn't a big Grey's Anatomy guy. It's stuff like that, but I know the actor and his struggles with ALS and passing away at 52 is pretty heartbreaking for anybody, especially like somebody who has a family and has kids behind. And I did see that he has that documentary out on Netflix. No, I'm not going to watch it. No, I don't feel like fucking hating myself and being miserable for the whole entire weekend. But I think that it's extremely sweet and it's probably extremely moving for Netflix to do that, or for him to have that special and be able to say goodbye. That's probably, a lot of people don't get that chance to do that. So I think that's extremely amazing and sad. And, poor dude, man, he went through that, and it's 52 is crazy, man. I think that's way too young.
It wasn't the biggest role, but he played Jamie Madrox, aka Multiple Man in X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah,
He's the guy
yeah.
that, and he was funny. He was a great character. It was good to see him in the X-Men movie. I know a few of his stuff. Like I know he's more famous for his television roles, specifically Grey's Anatomy wasn't my thing, but he was in Bad Boys Ride or Die, which was I know these movies got kind of like, maybe that series is a little, but we grew up watching Bad Boys, so I love those movies. He did awesome in that movie as well, and just the various things that he was in, small roles, whether he played himself, I believe, in Family Guy. So I love when actors and actresses play themselves and kind of make fun of themselves in an actual family, because Family Guy, that if you watch Family Guy, they do that a lot. They kind of make a jokes, but when the actors or actresses actually get in on the role and voice their own character, like, it's funny. I think it really is.
Yeah.
It just makes you cooler in my eyes. Like, hey, you can laugh at yourself, and that's great. That's awesome. It's gonna all this situation, these three individuals all kind of at once, and just our thoughts are with their families. It's just,
Absolutely.
it was crazy, man. What the hell's going on?
I like two things about what we just. First of all, neither of us said McSteamy, so that's good. And then
You just did.
And number two, we tied in the fact that they all found humor in their craft, and they all found humility, and they all connected with the people that they entertained. They just weren't people on the screen. They were people that, like as teenagers or as young people or as old seasoned, people who have lived their lives. There's a connection in every facet with these three individuals who we lost within the last 2 weeks. So may they rest in peace. That's our show, everyone. Listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Most importantly, let us know what you think about the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media platforms. Just search for Formidable Opponents. And we want to thank Creative Little Pill for her great artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast platform you're listening to us on. And join us next episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks with most hated TV show character. So for Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. We'll see you next time.
Not everybody. Sorry. You can cut that out.
I was trying to think of something clever to say, but it didn't. Joseph beat me to it.